Hello and welcome back to art class. Today we're going to wrap up our positive negative space project. Okay. Remember, positive space is usually in a picture the actual object of the picture, and the negative space is usually the background, which is often, if like a landscape or something, could be the sky. The picture that we're going to be doing is kind of going to flip it back and forth, so it's hard to tell which is supposed to be the background and which is supposed to be the positive space. So we're going to be doing that. You're going to need a few things. I recommend a pencil and an eraser. You're going to need your picture from last week. You need a new piece of paper. You're going to need some glue, scissors, and you're going to either want a colored pencil or marker. Either one is okay. You can even use crayon to do yours. What I'm going to do is, if you have black paper, that might work as well. Okay, so what the first thing we're going to do is this part we're going to leave off to the side for right now. We need to work on this. We need to fold it in half, like a book, because eventually this piece is going to get glued right here. Okay. And if you actually have a black piece of paper, that would work just fine if it's this size. We have to make our own black piece of paper, so that's where the marker or colored pencil come in handy. I am going to go with the colored pencil just so it kind of matches. It's going to take me a while, so I'm just going to fast forward through this part of it. So you just need to make your own black paper. Now I have my black piece of paper. Now, again, if you have your own black paper at home, it'd be a lot faster just to have a sheet of paper. But you need that piece of paper to be twice as big as this sheet of paper. So basically, I'm going to fold this in half again so that this fits on the side. Okay, so we're almost done. What we need to do is we need to actually cut something out of this sheet. This is where the tricky part of the project comes in. On the back here, you're going to draw yourself a shape. My recommendation is, if you're not that handy with scissors, that you pick a simple shape like a square or a circle or something like that. You know, if you have a circle, you can trace it. If you need a rectangle, I'm going to go with a bit of a blobby shape just to show you a little bit more complicated thing. So let's see, I'm going to go this way, and I'm going to do a hand. It cannot touch the edge of the paper. It's got to be in the center. Okay, so there's my shape that I'm going to be using. Then the scissors. This is where the tricky part is, because we cannot destroy either piece. We need both this piece intact and we need this piece intact. So what I'm going to do is, right where I have kind of a straight edge, I'm going to do a little pinch right there, and I'm going to put a little snip. Okay, now I have this little snip, and basically it's a little hole where I can take my scissors, stick them through that little hole. If I'm super careful and slow, I can start to cut this out. We want to take our time. This is why I recommend, if you're not that good with scissors, keep your shape really simple. Because if it's a complicated shape, you're likely to rip the paper, and then, you know, starting all over is going to just take a while. Okay, so there's my two pieces. Right? I have my hand and then I have my piece. Again, I take it easy when you're doing that. A star would be a great shape to do if you have a stenciled star, but again, you gotta be careful because you want both pieces to be all in one piece. You don't want to have 6 different little pieces floating around. Okay, so the next step is we need to glue them. The first one I'm going to glue is this one. I'm going to glue this right in place, and then this would be my solid black background here, and then this would be my positive space. Okay. Be careful with the amount of glue. Again, as you guys remember, a dot, dot, not a lot. You can always use the nozzle. I'm going to clean my glue here. So put a few dots here and there. Then I'm going to close the nozzle, and I'm going to use my nozzle to kind of spread it out so it's nice and thin and not bubbly. But I make sure to get a little bit on these pieces here so they stick. Go. Then I'm going to very carefully glue this in place. Try to line up the outside edge as best I can, top and bottom. And again, the simpler the shape, the easier this will be because everything won't be as flimsy. Okay. Then I'm going to put this about in the same spot. So I'm going to try to line it up so they look like they're kind of almost reflections of each other. Then I'm going to glue this in place. And then you're done. So the part that's going to take the longest is honestly making your own black paper for this. That's why, again, if you have a marker at home, I kind of recommend that, but I know most people have at least a colored pencil or a crayon. So if you have the marker, I recommend it's a bit faster. Be careful with your cutting. Remember, you want 2 solid pieces. Okay? The one that you cut out and the leftover, and you're going to glue this in place. You can see. When you're done, take a photo of it and upload it to Google Classroom for me, and I will see you next week.